Have you ever wondered how to make your implementation as smooth as silk? Then stay with us to find out more. We're speaking today with Schallenberg, CEO at Acorel, one of our partners in the Netherlands. Welcome to another episode of the CX Show. Hi Taco, thanks so much for joining us on the show today. And to warm up, let's talk a little bit maybe about Acorel. Could you tell
Sure.
us if Acorel is a customer experience company?
Yeah, we definitely are. That's the main thing we do. So we focus on customer experience and we try to help our customers to deliver the best customer experience to their customers. We've been doing that for almost 15 years. And we're a partner of SAP as well. So we use the tools and the software from SAP to help our customer deliver the best in class customer experience.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. That's exactly what I wanted to hear for our CX show. Super important. And yeah, last time we had a conversation here on the show with Paul Sheffers from Habesha. And yeah, for those who haven't seen the show, we'll link it somewhere up here. And Taco, I would like to get your perspective as a partner on the case. Why do you think CRM solutions like SAP Sales Cloud and Service Cloud are important for customers like Habesha to improve their sales efficiency?
Yeah, well, the thing is, customers like Habesha, and Habesha is really a innovative company because they're quite a young company. So they're like a startup company, and that means that they choose their own direction, they choose their strategy, and by choosing that strategy, they decided to go for the best impeccable service and also best in class sales solutions.
Mm-hmm.
And what we did is we used the SAP Sales Cloud and the SAP Service Cloud to deliver that to them. And on top of that, we built an app which their people are using in Ethiopia. And they love to use that app because it's simple for them, it's easy to use, they can use it offline. And with that app, we are able to streamline all their sales and service processes so they can really achieve the goals they have.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's then maybe tell our audience a little bit about the project. So in 2019, as far as I remember, Habesha decided to expand their business and they started producing and distributing draft beer. And Taco, could you tell us maybe some of the if we step one step back, could you tell us about some of the main challenges that Habesha was experiencing at that time in terms of technology?
Yeah, sure. Well, I think one of the main problems was for them that they did not have any technology yet on the service side. So what they decided to do is to start selling a draft beer, and they also made the decision that they want to deliver the best service for that draft beer. So that was their unique selling point. And since they had no technology yet to support that process to deliver the best service, but they did already use a sales tool, Sales Cloud, for them to sell the bottle beer. They said, okay, how can we use this tool also to deliver that best service? And within the Sales Cloud, there's also a part called Service Cloud. And with that Service Cloud, we were able to automate their service processes from scratch. So what we did is we did take the customer data, the installations, so we know when casks are, for instance, running out, so we deliver the casks in the right way. We know also when their installation needs service, so we can send service people proactively to their installations. And by doing that, they were able to automate the process from begin to end and also start delivering that real quality service. And I think in combination with their quality beer, because they like to have a real quality beer, they deliver quality service and quality beer. And that was their strategy. And one of the important factors for them is, of course, time to market. How fast can you get on that market and try to win try to win that market for you? And if you want to do that in a fast way, well, then you need tooling, then you need technology to support it. And I think that's why they chose Acorel as a partner to deliver that, because we already knew Habesha, we knew what they needed and what the market was all about, and they chose Sales and Service Cloud to deliver that service.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, you mentioned that you developed a customized app for Habesha so that they could use Sales Cloud everywhere in Ethiopia, across the country. What were some other main goals and scope that you as a partner had for the project?
Well, one of the main goals we had, of course, was the service level should be on a high level. It should be proactive. So the system should tell service engineers and operations department what to do, what's happening out there, and they should give that automated response in order to deliver that service in the right way. Um, and what they needed is monitoring. So they really wanted to have insights in their processes, what's happening anywhere, and how can we adjust this in the right way? How can we get a feeling of, did we set up a draft installation in the right way? Should it be 2 or 3 draft installations at this customer? So they wanted to have that knowledge, what's happening out there and what's happening in the market. And I think those are the main goals we try to achieve with this project.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. We talked about this a little bit with Paul as well, that though they have a yeah, call center for customers to reach out to them, usually it's not necessary because they get all the data in one place, right? And they know what's happening like at every of their customers, so they get all this information from the system.
Yeah.
Shall we talk a little bit about the implementation process in general? If you could give us some more details on how it went.
Yeah, sure. So what we did is in the implementation process, we sat together with a team from Habesha. It was quite a difficult period because it was during COVID, so we had to work remotely with them. But they had some really good people on board who are really tech savvy, so they knew about technology, they knew what it meant, but they were also agile. So what you often need in a project is a project team which has some sort of agility, so they are flexible. We need to deal with what's happening out there, in what way they would like to have the processes set up, and what would be possible and achievable from a technology point of view. And I think we worked quite closely together in different workshops. And what we did every time is on a weekly or 2 weekly basis, we get back together, we showed them what we had built and had configured for them in the processes. They were able to test, take a look at it, and every time we went to a better solution. And I think in the end that they were really happy with the translation of their requirements and their goals into the solution we built for them.
Hmm. What would you consider your biggest achievement, so your biggest success on this project?
Well, I think the biggest achievement is in this case working on a remote basis because of COVID, and you still need to find that team spirit to work together to achieve something. And I think in this project we did that very well. So I think that was one of the main challenges. And of course, there's always like practical stuff in a project that we work with. They have no postal codes and addresses, for instance, in Ethiopia. So we work with geolocations. And of course, it's easier if you're on the ground testing the software. So they needed to do that for us. So there's sometimes some sort of those challenges we had as well. But I think we covered them quite well.
Hmm. Okay, good. Then let's maybe talk about some of the business benefits. It's been nearly 2 years now since the project started. What do you think came as a yeah key business results for Habesha?
Well, I think there's a number of things. Well, first of all, they started with their sales processes, so they want to have insight in the market. They want to have a 360 a customer view. Um, and since we started from day one with using this technology, it resulted in a lot of data.
Hmm.
And nowadays, of course, data is really fuel for most of the companies. But if you start really fresh, like Habesha did, um, then all the data you get in, you can analyze that data, and based on that data, you can make business decisions. And I think that's one of the main achievements we had is that with this data, they can make decisions. For instance, how many installations should we set up at a certain customer, how many refrigerators should be sold here, how often should they be delivered, and what's the most efficient way. And by combining that data, they were able to make business decisions on those insights. And I think that's really a big advantage for them, especially in comparison to some of their competitors. And that's also the case for the last project we did with the service project, because we automated the whole process. We again have a lot of data about our customers, and we can fine tune the process based on that data.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're totally right, because they are playing against bigger companies on the market, right? And being smart and data driven, and yeah, making decisions based on the data that they have is yeah, the best competitive advantage that they have. Good. As we are, yeah, heading towards the end of the discussion, I wanted to ask you, yeah, we don't have a crystal ball, but what do you think how the future between SAP customer experience, Acorel, and Habesha is going to look like?
Well, indeed, I do not have a crystal ball, but what we see happening at this moment is that we are further optimizing and fine-tuning the processes so we have delivered to them. So working on the sales, working on the service side. And Habesha is very ambitious. They started 6 years ago within Ethiopia, a really local beer with a high quality. So there will be more projects coming up. There will be new markets, new products they like to sell or additions to. And I think we have shown them so far that together Acorel and SAP can deliver sales processes and support sales processes and support service processes for them, that I'm sure that if they're going to set up a new market or or change their strategy a bit, that we will be their partner again from a technology perspective. And I think if we look at the other customers we have within Acorel, there's so much more we can do with the customer experience solutions from SAP. So they're only scratching the surface, and we try to challenge them, and they challenge us because they say, well, in our market things happen like this, and in Ethiopia it works like this, and we try to challenge them in a way. But I think the future looks bright for Habesha, and we just try to help them and support them in that way.
Yeah, same here. And I really hope that our allegiance between SAP customer experience, Acorel, and Habesha will only go stronger.
Yeah, the same for us.
Same here. All right, good. Taco, I really wanted to thank you for joining us on the show today and sharing the details on the project. Thank you so much. I think for our audience, that was incredibly helpful. And now they know what to look out for when starting a complex implementation project. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, sure. My pleasure. And guys, for all the additional information, you can find it in the description below. Stay tuned for more great topics to come. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss anything. Spread the word and let us know what you think using the hashtag DCXShow. That's it. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Bye-bye.